Would you ever think that the ground beneath you would collapse while you're traveling? While traveling on a highway, would you ever think that a massive sinkhole could form right beside you? Or that while enjoying fresh air by a lake, you would see the trees right in front of you being pulled deep into the ground? Actually, these are nothing compared to what else you will see. It feels like living a scene from a movie, as if subtitles and cartoons were added. A massive pit stands right in front of you. There are many such pits in different parts of the world. Subtitle M.K. A new pit can be formed.
A slight dust rose. I thought it was the dust of the game. As I was stepping, I was almost stepping right into it. Cracks in Göçel are large enough for a person to fit inside and have been expanding for 6-7 years. Though kids may view this as a play area, playing here could lead to them falling in.
I don't know what will happen to us. It's really moving here, I swear.
But why are these sinkholes forming? Why is the ground collapsing in such a round shape? Many of the world's special sinkholes, known as obruk, are forming today in the barren lands of Konya. From past to present, Konya, which has been more involved in agriculture, its villagers obtain most of their livelihood through agriculture. Previously, these lands in Konya had vast, sprawling lakes, but many mistakes made ultimately led to lands with calcareous soil, causing the formation of giant sinkholes. On this map, you can see the sinkholes formed in Konya. Some are new, while others are sinkholes from very old years, and they continue to form even today. So, what is the reason these sinkholes form only in Konya? Actually, the reason is the unfortunate combination of 3 factors: agriculture, limestone soil, and irrigation. This map you're looking at shows the regions with limestone soil. This also shows the regions where agriculture is more prevalent. When we combine the map, we see that the areas with the most agriculture also have limestone soils. Limestone soils have easily soluble structures. This is the first factor that causes everything to begin. But it is not sufficient on its own. Let me explain this to you in the simplest way. The sun heats up water on Earth's surface, causing evaporation. The lighter water vapor rises, cools down in the sky, condenses again, and causes the formation of clouds. The increasing water droplets in the clouds fall back to the Earth's surface, filling lakes or rivers with water. Thus, a kind of water cycle takes place. In other words, areas on Earth where water exists, such as lakes and rivers, continuously sustain themselves through this cycle. However, in areas like Konya, where agriculture is intensive, due to incorrect irrigation methods and the opening of illegal water wells, water in lakes and rivers gradually recedes, and eventually, the amount of water falling from the sky also decreases. This gradually leads to the drying up of lakes and rivers, in other words, the depletion of water. When farmers are forced to start using the water accumulated underground, the danger becomes inevitable. The soil in the Konya plain is mostly calcareous. Since calcareous soil has an easily soluble structure, the underground waters can easily form their own beds, that is, caves. When people engaged in agriculture start drawing these underground waters, the water accumulated in the caves empties, creating large voids beneath the soil. Let me show you this with an experiment conducted. Currently, the soil is nourished with water and strong enough. However, as the water starts to recede, the soil also weakens. In the lower layer, voids slowly begin to form. The soil sinking into the ground causes the voids to form upward, eventually leading to a major collapse. These sinkholes can reach massive sizes. One of the largest is the Göçel sinkhole. It has a depth of 159 yards. This is equivalent to the height of a 50-story building. However, one of the most famous of these sinkholes is the Heaven and Hell sinkholes in Silifke. This place was formed as a result of the collapse of the ceiling due to chemical erosion caused by an underground stream. There is a small memorial church right next to the entrance of the cave. It has an inscription from 1600 years ago in the year 5. In the 5th century, it was built by a devout person named Paulus in dedication to Mary. Actually, a large pit you see while walking in nature might carry traces of a sinkhole from the past. Sinkholes may look interesting from the outside, but they have a dangerous side. These massive pits can collapse while a farmer is driving a tractor working in the field, or even when an adult or perhaps a child is passing by. And these collapses can be fatal, so...
Does it keep collapsing here? Again, from the opposite side, that place is also going. And the difficulty is on this side as well. There are two inside on each side.
How do you live?
You live here, what should we do? The municipality should remove it.
It needs to be removed. Are you hesitating like this?
While walking in the field, we got used to it, Ali. We are so used to it now.
The villagers have gotten used to living like this. It appears, nowadays, sinkholes attract tourists' attention, with tours organized to such places. So much so that underwater diving is done thanks to the water filling the sinkholes. Some even perform parachute jumps into such pits. So, how can this be prevented? I mean, how can the formation of these deep sinkholes be stopped? The solution to this is actually quite simple. A simple step by the government in this regard will not only prevent the formation of sinkholes, but also contribute to the development of agriculture and enable the local people to produce more and earn more. The solution is quite simple. Filling some nearby lakes with transported water as a one-time measure and teaching the villagers proper irrigation methods. When the dried up lakes in these arid areas are artificially refilled, the rainfall in the surrounding area will also increase. Thanks to these self-sustaining lakes, underground voids will not form, and naturally the formation of sinkholes will also stop. When you look at it, a small action at first. Nature then nature, animal life, agriculture, the villagers benefiting from agriculture, and finally will regulate these sinkholes. See, everything is actually this simple. But while everything is this simple, where are the authorities who will research this better and regulate it more effectively? It's truly sad that they can't see this. In fact, it's concerning. You know how we sometimes say, why isn't it raining? What sin have we done? Actually, sometimes we experience these things because of the sins of others. By the way, the video turned out a bit like the lessons taught in middle school. But that's how it is, someone needs to learn a lesson from this video. So, what do you think about this? You can be sure that I will read each and every one of your comments. I'm NYGMA, see you soon.